Season 8 of Hudson Rex is now deep in production, and you'd think that alone would be enough to set the fandom buzzing with the usual excitement. But this time, the anticipation feels completely different. There's a heaviness around this new chapter, a sense that we're stepping into a version of the show we've never seen before. Yes, the sets are built. Yes, the team is back. And yes, the cases will continue. But there's one absence that overshadows the entire season. One change that has transformed the tone of the production and the hearts of everyone involved. Rex isn't Rex anymore. Not the Rex we knew. Not the Rex we grew up watching since episode 1. Diesel, the incredible German Shepherd who brought Rex to life with unmatched intelligence, charm, and emotional depth, is no longer with us. Fans had suspected something was different during Season 7. Rex moved differently, his reactions seemed off, and even the chemistry between him and Charlie felt slightly changed. It wasn't clear at the time, but now we know those observations were heartbreakingly accurate. Diesel fell gravely ill during the filming of Season 7, suffering a sudden burst spleen. Despite surgery, around-the-clock care, and every effort his trainers and medical team poured into saving him, his condition worsened, and he had to be compassionately put down. He was only 8 years old, a painfully young age for a dog who had already become a television legend. His final episode, A Room with a Clue, aired without fans realizing it was Diesel's last on-screen appearance. And looking back, that episode unintentionally became a tribute, an unexpected farewell centered entirely around Rex himself. That alone makes it almost impossible not to tear up when rewatching it today. But what makes Diesel's loss even more emotional is the bond he shared with his co-star, John Reardon. Their connection was real, deeply rooted, and built over years of working side by side. John later revealed that Diesel wasn't just another animal actor. He was his scene partner, his constant companion, and, in John's own words, someone who spoke a different language. One expressed through energy, breath, subtle movement, and unspoken trust. And just when the show was already carrying the weight of losing its four-legged star, John himself was privately fighting his own battle. He revealed in a Christmas Eve post that he'd been struggling with tonsil cancer, a diagnosis that turned his life upside down. 2 photos, one healthy, one during treatment, told the story of a year filled with fear, exhaustion, and resilience. He thanked the people who supported him through the journey, and later announced that he was cancer-free and cleared to return to work. But imagine filming the emotional final weeks with Diesel while quietly facing cancer at the same time. It's heartbreaking, and it explains why Season 7 felt heavier than usual. Now, going into Season 8, the production team has had to rebuild more than just the script. Diesel's trainer, Sherry Davis, kept his passing private until Season 7 wrapped, so she could focus on preparing Diesel's nephews, Dylan and Dante, to take on the role. Sherry later admitted that she simply couldn't bear people approaching her with condolences on set. She knew her emotions would transfer directly to the dogs, making the transition harder for them. Dylan is now the new primary Rex, with Dreamer serving as the stunt double. And while they're talented, well-trained, and absolutely capable, nothing will ever fully replace Diesel's unique presence. Fans will notice the difference. The cast feels the difference. And the production definitely feels the difference. Season 8 is shaping up to be the season where the show must redefine itself. The bond between Charlie and Rex has always been the emotional core, an anchor that grounded the series in heart, loyalty, and unspoken connection. Rebuilding that bond with a new dog isn't something that can be faked. It takes time, patience, and mutual trust. And the early reports from set suggest the team is working incredibly hard to make the transition seamless. But emotionally, it's still a very raw experience, especially knowing how fresh Diesel's absence still is for the cast, the crew, and the fans. Production is officially underway, expected to run through July 2025, with the season aiming for a February 2026 release. And while that timeline sounds normal, what's happening inside the production isn't. It's a season built on resilience, John returning stronger after cancer, the crew adapting to the loss of their beloved animal star, and the entire team working to protect the spirit of a show that means so much to so many. Season 8 isn't just a continuation. It's a reinvention, born out of heartbreak, strength, and the hope that the magic of Hudson and Rex can live on, even after such profound loss. As Season 8 moves forward, one thing has become incredibly clear. This isn't just a new chapter for Hudson and Rex. It's a complete emotional reset for everyone involved. The production team is doing everything in their power to keep the essence of the show alive, but the behind-the-scenes reality is far more complex than most fans realize. Losing Diesel didn't just change the cast lineup, it altered the entire atmosphere on set. You can almost feel it in the air, this mix of determination, nostalgia, and quiet sadness that hangs over the crew as they try to recreate the magic that Diesel brought so effortlessly from day one. And while fans are excited for Season 8, many are holding their breath, wondering whether the series can truly recover from such a major emotional blow. But one thing the show has always excelled at is resilience. It has weathered cast changes, production challenges, and shifting storylines. Still, none of those compare to this moment. Everyone knows that the relationship between Charlie and Rex is the beating heart of the show. Without that chemistry, no case, no mystery, and no high-stakes rescue would ever hit the same. The writers understand that better than anyone, which is why they're taking their time shaping the scenes that involve Dylan, the new Rex. According to early whispers from inside the production, the team is approaching this transition with patience and care. They're giving Dylan space to build a natural bond with John, not forcing the emotional shortcuts that could make moments feel scripted or artificial. They want the viewers to feel the connection grow slowly, authentically, the way Diesel and John built theirs over years of working side by side. At the same time, the writers are reportedly adding more depth to Charlie's emotional arc this season. And honestly, that makes perfect sense. Charlie isn't just a detective solving cases, he's a character who's gone through tremendous personal challenges, both on-screen and off. Season 8 is expected to reflect some of that emotional weight, giving viewers a more vulnerable look at the bond between man and dog. Maybe it's a subtle nod to Diesel. Maybe it's a way to honor the connection that built the show from the ground up. Whatever the reason, the emotional tone of Season 8 is shaping up to be deeper, richer, and more reflective than anything we've seen before. But it isn't only the bond between Charlie and Rex that's adjusting. The entire cast is navigating the change. Each actor had their own relationship with Diesel, and stepping into Season 8 without him has undoubtedly been a difficult shift. You can sense it in the way the cast members talk about the upcoming season. There's excitement, yes, but also a shared understanding that things will never be exactly the same. The cast update confirms that everyone is returning, which is reassuring for fans, especially after John's health scare. Knowing he's back, strong, healthy, and cleared to work, brings a sense of hope to a season otherwise filled with emotional turbulence. In fact, John Reardon has become the quiet anchor of the entire production. After battling cancer and losing his closest on-screen partner in the same year, most actors would have stepped back, taken time, maybe even reconsidered their careers. But John didn't. He fought through his illness, leaned on the support of his loved ones, and came back more committed than ever to bringing Charlie's character to life. According to people close to the production, John sees Season 8 as a way to honor Diesel, a way to continue the work they started together. That alone adds an emotional weight to this season that fans will definitely feel. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, the trainers are doing everything possible to help Dylan step into his new role with confidence. Training a dog to replace a beloved icon isn't as simple as teaching commands. It's not just about hitting marks or following cues. It's about embodying a character, one that fans have loved for years. Diesel was a once-in-a-lifetime talent. He had a natural intelligence, a calm presence, and this almost human ability to read scenes and respond with emotional nuance. Dylan, while skilled and well-trained, is still new to the spotlight. He has big paw prints to fill, and the trainers are working tirelessly to prepare him for what's ahead. Sherry Davis is guiding him through every step, just as she did with Diesel, but even she admitted that the emotional weight of this transition has been incredibly challenging. And then there's Dreamer, the stunt double who's also becoming an important part of the team. With two dogs helping portray Rex, the action sequences in Season 8 might feel more dynamic and coordinated than before. But again, it's not the stunts that define Rex as a character. It's the heart. And the heart is something Dylan will have to grow into with time, patience, and trust. There's also a sense of mystery surrounding how the show will address the transition on screen. Will Season 8 acknowledge Diesel's absence subtly through storytelling, or will they allow the series to flow forward without drawing attention to the change? The writers are reportedly keeping this under wraps, and that secrecy is only adding more suspense for the audience. Fans are already speculating, theories are flying around, and the anticipation is building for how exactly the show will honor its past while moving into its future. What's certain is that Season 8 isn't designed to make fans forget Diesel. Instead, it seems to be crafted in a way that gently accepts the transition, allowing the audience to hold on to their memories while embracing what comes next. It's a delicate balance, one that could either strengthen the series or challenge its emotional core. But if the early reports are true, the writers, cast, and crew are pouring everything they have into making this season not just a continuation, but a tribute. A tribute to the bond, the years, the stories, and the partnership that defined Hudson and Rex from the very beginning. As we move deeper into the reality of Season 8, one thing becomes impossible to ignore. This season feels like a crossroads for Hudson and Rex. It's not just about moving forward, it's about rebuilding something sacred without losing the soul that made fans fall in love with the show in the first place. And honestly, the more you look at what's happening behind the scenes, the more you realize that Season 8 may become one of the most emotionally charged seasons the franchise has ever created. Not because of dramatic storylines or high-stakes cases, but because of everything the cast and crew have gone through in real life. It's almost as if the heart of Season 8 was shaped by pain, patience, and healing, all unfolding quietly while the cameras weren't rolling. Inside the production, there's a strong sense of determination, almost like the team is working with a purpose beyond television. And it makes sense. Diesel wasn't just a dog on set. He was a family member, a partner, a piece of history for the show. Losing him didn't just leave a gap in the cast list, it left a hole in the atmosphere that everyone is still adjusting to. Some crew members who worked closely with Diesel mentioned they still catch themselves glancing toward the areas he used to rest between takes. Others say they feel moments where something's missing, a presence that used to bring calm, playfulness, and familiarity to the environment. That's the kind of impact Diesel had on this show. And because of that, the transition into Season 8 carries a weight that can't be easily put into words. But even with that heavy emotional backdrop, there's also a quiet admiration building around Dylan. He's stepping into a role that's almost impossible to fill perfectly, yet he's handling it with a steady, patient confidence that has started to win people over. Early reports from set describe Dylan as eager to learn, responsive, and surprisingly quick to form connections. While Diesel had years to perfect the character of Rex, Dylan is proving that he's ready to carry the legacy forward in his own way. The crew has noticed how he watches everyone closely, how he adjusts to John's movements, and how he seems to understand the responsibility placed on his shoulders, or paws in this case. John Reardon, too, is approaching this season with a different kind of emotional strength. After his recovery from cancer, he's returned with a sense of gratitude that radiates through his work. People who have seen him on set mention that he looks more focused, more grounded, almost like someone who has gained a deeper appreciation for life and the relationships around him, and that translates on screen. His scenes with Dylan reportedly feel tender, intentional, and charged with unspoken meaning, as if Charlie himself is rediscovering the bond that defines his world. It's subtle, but powerful, and fans will undoubtedly feel that shift when Season 8 airs. But make no mistake, Season 8 isn't going to be slow or quiet. If anything, the production is gearing up for bigger, more intense cases. With the introduction of Dylan and Dreamer, the stunt work might actually be more ambitious than previous seasons. Dreamer, being younger and incredibly athletic, is capable of performing high-action scenes that Diesel could no longer execute in his later years. This gives the writers new creative freedom, bigger chases, more physical rescues, and action sequences that push Rex's abilities further than ever. The contrast between Dylan's emotional growth and Dreamer's physical agility could add a new dynamic to the show. making Season 8 both emotionally compelling and visually exciting. There's also a buzz around potential cast shifts and guest stars. Even though the main cast is confirmed to return, insiders hint that Season 8 may introduce new recurring characters to add fresh energy to the team. These could be detectives from other departments, specialists connected to ongoing cases, or even new allies who bring out different sides of Charlie and Rex. This isn't official yet, but the whispers are definitely growing louder. And considering the emotional tone of the upcoming season, adding new faces could give the story the balance it needs. New perspectives, new relationships, and new challenges that keep the world of Hudson and Rex expanding. But the biggest question fans keep asking is how the show will handle the emotional reality of transitioning from Diesel to Dylan. Will they subtly acknowledge a shift? Will they let the season unfold naturally without drawing attention to it? Or will there be small symbolic moments that longtime fans will recognize as quiet nods to Diesel's legacy? Right now, no one knows, because the production team is keeping those details locked away. And honestly, that secrecy is creating a level of suspense that fans rarely experience before a new season. Season 8 isn't just another continuation of the series. It feels like a carefully crafted tribute wrapped in a brand new chapter. A chapter shaped by loss, strengthened by resilience, and guided by the shared desire to honor what the show has meant to millions of viewers. And as the cast, crew, and new Rex step into the future, fans are waiting with a mixture of excitement, nervousness, and hope. Hope that the magic of Hudson and Rex can survive this emotional turning point. Season 8 of Hudson and Rex is shaping up to be more than just another installment. It's a test of loyalty, resilience, and the true spirit of the show. The production has already faced unimaginable challenges. The loss of Diesel, the emotional recovery of John Reardon, and the pressure of introducing a new dog to fill shoes that, frankly, no one could truly replace. And yet, despite all of that, the team is moving forward, determined to honor the legacy while creating something new. There's a quiet intensity on set, a sense that everyone involved understands the responsibility that comes with this season. It isn't just about delivering another series of cases, it's about carrying forward a bond that has defined the show for over 7 seasons. This emotional weight makes Season 8 feel heavier, more suspenseful, and deeply personal than any previous season. Dylan, stepping into Diesel's role, faces a challenge unlike any other. While Dreamer handles the high-intensity stunts, Dylan must carry the emotional heart of Rex. It's a delicate balance. Dylan's trainers are reportedly giving him a combination of rigorous training and gentle encouragement, helping him learn to mirror John's cues and respond to the subtle energies that Diesel mastered over years. Unlike Diesel, Dylan is learning the nuances of a character that isn't just about performing tricks or solving cases. It's about being a partner, a co-detective, and an emotional anchor. Observers note that Dylan is naturally intelligent and quick to pick up on cues, but there's also a sense of reverence around him. Everyone on set seems to understand that Dylan isn't Diesel, and he shouldn't be, but he's being given the space to grow into his own version of Rex. John Reardon's return after his battle with tonsil cancer is another cornerstone of this season. His journey back to health has brought a new level of depth to his performance, and insiders say that his interactions with Dylan are already starting to capture the subtlety and emotion of the Bond fans loved with Diesel. John's dedication is palpable. He's back on set early, fully engaged, and clearly invested in helping Dylan succeed. The combination of John's renewed energy and Dylan's potential is creating a dynamic that's both raw and promising. It's a fresh start, but it's also a poignant reminder of what was lost and what the show is striving to preserve.